Hi everyone, welcome back once again in my YouTube channel. So guys, I hope you all are doing good. And also I hope you remember it. So in last video already I have started that core Java all interview question and answer series, right? In this video already I have discussed. So already we have almost 250 questions which are all important question we generally ask in the interview room, right? So in that already I have covered first 50 question, right? So which are belongs to our some oops concept, some basic and some coding standard. So today just I will discuss continuation of that video, that is part 2. So today what I am going to discuss, that will be two topics. First topic is exception handling and second is what, multi-threading. So both the topic, what most important question generally asked by the interviewer, that thing I will discuss in this video. So guys, please be concentrate. Okay, so what I'm going to explain now. So guys, see, so yesterday, not means last video, what I have discussed, so that was coding standard, basic and what, oops concept, some related question. So today topic is what, exception handling interview question. You could see, right? So that is the our today discussion in this video. So all the question I will discuss related to the exception handling, which is very important, and most of the interviewer ask this question in the interview room. Suppose if you are going to attend any interviewer, so this type of question may asked by the interviewer. Okay. So guys, first question, what is an exception in Java? So once if the interviewer asks related to the exception handling question, so this might be first question. This might be first question, what do you mean by exception in Java? Okay, so guys, don't confuse. If they ask this question, what is what exception in Java? So in Java guys, exception in object. Okay, exception are created when an abnormal situation are arised in our execution, right? When any abnormal situation will comes, then exception will arise. So guys, exception can be created by JVM or by our application code guy. In both the way we can create the exception, sometimes by JVM, sometimes by our application code. So all exception classes are defined in java.lang package guy. In other words, we can say exception as a runtime error also. Okay, so this is all about the exception, and mainly guys, this is the abnormal termination. When our application is executing and it is terminated abnormally, that situation we can tell it is a exception in Java. Correct guys? So guys, next question, state some situation where exception may arise in Java. Okay, so accessing an element that doesn't exist in array get, such an exception you may get invalid conversion of number to a string and a string to number, that is what, number format exception. Invalid casting of class, that is class cast exception. Suppose we are going to object to your lower type, we are going to typecast. If you are not miss doing typecasting properly, that time you may get what, class cast exception. So trying to create object for interface or every class, that is instantiation exception. Sometimes arithmetic exception, file not found exception. So different type of exception you may get what, once you are execution your code guide. Okay, these are all the different type of situation, right? So you may tell to the interviewer, these are the situation by in which we can get the exception. Guys, the next question, what is exception handling in Java? That is very important question guys. That question is, what is exception handling? Suppose once you get the exception, that means if your application or program will abnormal terminated, then how you are going to handle the exception? That is the main question in the interview room. By the interviewer may ask this question, means how you are going to handle the exception in Java. So guys, see, exception handling is a mechanism what to do when some abnormal termination, already I mentioned you, when some abnormal situation, abnormal termination arise in the program. When an exception is raised in program, it leads to a termination of a program automatically. When it is not handled properly, guys, if our application or program is not handled properly, that means we may get exception handling. The significance of exception handling comes here what? In order not to terminate. Means what? The application should not terminate, guys. Right? It should be handled. Right? So this can done by with the help of exception handling mechanism. I will explain in later question and answer. Okay, if your application is terminated abnormally, then how you are going to handle the exception? That is called handling the exception. That is called the exception handling. Means it should be terminated what? Normally. If we may get any exception and runtime, so our application should not be terminated abnormally. It should terminate normally. That is called exception handling. So guys, next question, what is an error in Java? So guys, error is a subclass of throwable class. If you will see architecture, if you will see flowchart of the what? Exception, then you may understood. So error is the subclass of throwable class in Java. When error are caused by our program, we call that as a exception. But sometimes guys, exceptions are caused due to some environment issue, such as running out of memory, right? In such case, we can't handle the exception. Exception which cannot be recovered or called as a error in Java, guys. Right? Exception which cannot be recovered, that are called the error, guys. Just keep in mind, just like out of memory issue. Out of memory issue is called the error, guys. Right? It's called the error, correct? Guys, then next question, what are advantage of exception handling in Java? So what is the benefit? So if we are going to handle the exception in Java, so what is advantage? What do we get the advantage from exception handling? So guys, see, separating normal code from exception handling code to avoid abnormal termination of program. What it does, guys? So it means, suppose if our application is terminated abnormally, but if you're going to write our code in such a way so our application cannot be or should not be terminated abnormally, it should terminate normally. That is called, guys, advantage of exception handling. We need to write our code in such a way application cannot be what? Terminated abnormally. So with the help of exception handling, we can achieve this thing. That is the first point, guys. And second, categorizing into different types of exception, so that rather than handling all exception with exception root class, we can handle with specific exception, guys. It is recommended to handle exception with specific exception instead of handling with exception root class. That is second way, guys. And get third, call a stack mechanism. If a method throws an exception, guys, and it not handled immediately, then that exception is propagated to or thrown to the caller, that is JVM of respective method, right? This propagation continues till it finds an appropriate exception handler, guys. If it finds handler, it would be handled, otherwise program terminate appropriately, guys. That is the third way, guys. Guys, the next question, in how many ways we can do exception handling in Java? The question is how many ways, okay, we can do exception handling in Java, guys. So we can handle exception, guys, either two ways, mainly by specifying try catch block where we can catch the exception, correct? In a try block, we are going to write risky code where we can what? Generate the exception. And how we are going to catch this exception? For that we have one catch block, correct? And guys, second thing, declaring method with throws clause. Declaring method with a throws clause. means where caller method is there. So suppose if you don't have any caller method, so at last JVM will what keep this exception guy. Right? That is guy two way generally we can use for handling the exception. Sometimes the interview may ask how many ways do you know handling the exception. So you need to tell the interviewer. So these are mainly two approach. First is with try catch block and second is declaring a what method with throws clause. Right? Guys, see list out 5 keywords related to the exception handling. So if you're going to handle exception in your Java code, so what all those keywords generally or frequently we are going to use. So guys, so try, catch, throw, throws, finally. These all the keywords we are frequently used in our application, in our what Java code while we are going to what use the exception handling. So guys, keep in mind. I will explain guys in later video or later class all with the real-time example guys. So don't confuse. As of now, what I'm going to explain is theoretically. Sometimes interview also asks theoretical question. Do you know this thing or not? So the next question, explain try and catch keyword in Java. Means in this situation, we are going to use try and catch. Already I mentioned, right? So when you're going to handle the exception handling, that times we are going to use try and catch block. So guys, in try block, we define all exception causing code. Already I mentioned that is risky code guy. We know this code maybe erase the exception. That code we should write inside the try block, right? So in try block, we define all exception causing code guy. In Java, try and catch forms a unit, right? A catch block catches the exception thrown by preceding try block, right? Whatever the exception arising in the try block, so corresponding exception we are going to catch into the catch block guy. So catch block cannot catch an exception thrown by the another try block. Okay, if there is no exception causing code in our program or exception is not raised in our code guy, JVM ignore that try catch block. This is the syntax guy. What I mentioned you try and catch exception in our but super class. Whatever going to get the exception from the type in the try block, that exception we are going to catch by the catch block exception class, correct? That is the guy question. Now next question guy, can we have try block without catch block? Guys, see now what I'm going to explain all the question is very important question guy. So can we have try block without catch block? So interviewer may confuse you. Okay, just ask after asking such type of question. What they may ask, can we have try block without catch block? So is try block requires at least one catch block guy? Keep in mind. Okay, is try block requires at least one catch block or finally block? A try block without catch or finally will result in compile time error guy. We can't skip either of each what catch or finally block, but not the both. Keep in mind guys. So the next question, can we have multiple catch block for a try block? In some case guy, our code may throw more than one exception. In some case, what suppose you may get in suppose going to create one RESTful application guy, REST implementation, suppose REST client exception, okay, correct, HTTP exception. That time guy, you may have more than one catch block. So in some cases our code may throw more than one exception. In such a case we can specify 2 or more catch clause. Okay, each catch handling different type of exception. When an exception is thrown, JVM checks each catch statement in order, and the first one which matches the type of exception is execution and remaining catch block are skipped. Just keep in mind guys. If the interview may ask, can we have multiple catch block for a try block? Yes, you can tell. Yes, in some case. And the case what you have implemented in your project, that thing you need to explain to respective interviewer. Correct guys? So guys, try with multiple catch block is highly recommended in Java guys. That is highly recommended in Java. You can use guys. If try with multiple catch blocks are present, the order of catch block is very important. Suppose if you are going to keep here and there, so it should not, it give the error guide. So it should be the order by. Okay, you need to give the order. So first what exception it can catch, and then what exception it can catch. So it should be, means the order should be important guide. So means what? If try blocks with multiple catch blocks are present in your code, the order of catch blocks is very very important. Otherwise, it will give the error. So and the order should be from child to parent. This thing keep in mind. So guys, next question, exception. So explain importance of finally block in Java. So what is the importance of finally block? Good. What is the importance of finally block in Java, guys? In exception concept, right? So guys, finally block is used for cleaning up resource such as closing connections, right? You may know, guys, right? So finalize, I have told you in last video also, right? So sometimes the interview may ask what is the importance of finally and finalize. If finally keywords comes in your bucket to explain, you just tell to the interviewer finally block is used to cleaning up the resource. Means what? Suppose if you open any resources, right? Suppose if you open data source, right, or database, so you need to close respective resource guide. You mention, right? So if you're cleaning up a resource such as closing connection, socket, such type of resource you need to close first, right? That means this thing you need it in the finally block. If try block execute with no exception, then finally is called after try block guide. Without executing catch block, if there is an exception thrown in try block, finally block executes immediately after catch block guide. These all the things you should keep in mind whenever any interviewer may ask such type of question in the interview room. So guys, if an exception is thrown, finally block will be executed even if the no catch block handle the exception. I hope you understood what I have discussed as of now. Guys, the next question, can we have any code between try and catch block? We should not declare any code between guys try and catch block. Catch block should immediately start after try block, just like that. So it's some template, it's some standard what we need to write the code inside the try block. Just after try block we should write catch block. If you may get any type of exception, directly we can what? Catch the exception in the catch block. So guys, next question, can we have any any code between try and finally block? So I might be have the same code I have repeated 2 times, guys, so please ignore. Then guys, next question, can we catch more than one exception in single catch block? What I mentioned, guys, can we catch more than one exception in single catch block? So guys, from Java 7 we can catch more than one exception with single catch block. This type of handling reduces the code duplication, guys. This is type of handling reduces the code duplication. When we catch more than one exception, guys, just keep in mind, when we catch more than one exception in single catch block, catch parameter is implicitly final. We cannot assign any value to catch parameter. Just like that, see, in single catch block we are writing here array index, auto bound exception, or arithmetic exception. In such a way you need to what? Write the code. Right, guys? Then guys, next question, it's very very important. When the exception question arises, definitely this question might become, what are checked exception and what is the difference between checked and unchecked exception? How many types of exception, right? This question definitely, guys, it's 200% this question come in your bucket once if you're going to attend any interview. So that time the question may arise, what type of exception? So guys, generally we may tell to interviewer we have two type of exception, right? First is checked exception and second is unchecked exception. Correct, guys? So guys, first we should know what is checked exception. So most of the candidate may confuse or may given the incorrect answer about the checked exception. So guys, what should be the answer for check exception? Please listen carefully. So guys, the exception which are checked by compiler, the exception which are checked by compiler at runtime for normal termination is called checked exception. Whether programmer handling or not, whether programmer is handling or not, just keep in mind. One more time I will explain. The exception which are checked by compiler at runtime for the normal termination is called the checked exception. One condition is there, whether programmer is handling or not. Correct guys? So guys, you can see here also I mentioned all the subclasses of throwable class except error, runtime exception and its subclass are checked exception. Correct guys? So check exception should be thrown with keyword guide throws, right, or should be provided try catch block, else the program would not compile. We do get compilation error guide. Example guide, you can see here input output exception, SQL exception, file not found exception, invocation target exception, clone not supported exception, class not found exception, instantiation exception. These all are comes under our checked exception. Good guy. And then guy, what is unchecked exception? What is unchecked? That means guy, we need to define or you may define the exception which are not checked by compiler. Unchecked exceptions guy, what? The exception which are not checked by the compiler at runtime, like syntax error, called unchecked exception guy. This is the very simple definition guy. And you can remember also what the exception which are checked by compiler at runtime for normal termination is called checked exception, but the exception which are not checked by the compiler at runtime what is called unchecked exception, like syntax error guy. Just like you mean right arithmetic exception. Right guy, these are the unchecked exception. You can see here array index auto bound exception, arithmetic exception, because arithmetic exception, this exception is not checked by compiler guy. This responsibility need to handle by the developer, programmer. Array index auto bound exception not checked by compiler. Class cast exception, right, it's not checked by the what compiler. Correct? This responsibility completely to the programmer. Index auto bound exception, null point exception, anyhow you need to check if any reference is null or not. If any reference becomes null, that means it is null point exception. It comes under the what unchecked exception. Number format exception, string index auto bound exception, unsupported operation exception. These all are comes under the unchecked exception. That thing you should keep in mind guys. Guys, the next question is explain difference between check and unchecked exception. What I have defined check and unchecked, same thing I have mentioned in the table. Also you can see guys, you can collect from this table guys. Guys, the next, what is default exception handling in Java? What is default exception handling in Java guys? This is also one important question. Sometimes the interviewer asking this question or they may confuse you. So guys, when JVM detects exception causing code, it constructs a new exception handling object by including the following information. Suppose name of exception, description about exception, location of exception, right? After creating of object by JVM, it checks whether there is exception handling code or not. If there is exception handling code, then exception handle and continues the program. If there is no exception handling code in JVM handling code, then JVM give the responsibility of exception handling to default handler and terminates what adaptively, right? Default exception handler display description of exception guide, print the stack trace and location of exception and terminate the program accordingly. Guys, the main disadvantage of the default exception handling is a program terminate abruptly, right? Guys, this thing we should know. Guys, the next question is explain throw keyword in Java. What is the meaning of throw keyword in Java guys? So guys, already mentioned in the definition here in the PDF but simply I will what explain what is the throw keyword, guys. So guys, to hand over our created object to JVM, to hand over our created object to JVM manually. For that purpose, we use throw keyword to indicate something going wrong. To indicate something going wrong, we are stopping the program to raising custom exception, guys. What? To create a custom exception, right? That time we are going to use throw keyword. One more time, guys, I will explain. Just keep in mind. To hand over our created object to JVM manually, for the purpose, we use throw keyword to indicate something going wrong. We are stopping the program to raising the custom exception. Suppose, guys, if in your program, if you may get such type of in some time arithmetic exception, so that time you may create throw new arithmetic exception. In parameter you can write what? Divided by 0. Creating exception object explicitly, guys. Creating exception object explicitly. Okay. Hand over our created exception object to the JVM manually. What, guys? Throw keyword means what? We are going to hand over our created exception. Suppose if you may get arithmetic exception, right? So that arithmetic exception object we are going to hand over to the JVM manually. Correct? That is, guys, with the help of throw keyword. Guys, can we write any code after throw statement? After throw statement, JVM stop execution and subsequent statement are not executed. If we try to write any statement after throw, we do get compile time error saying unreachable code, guys. If you write what? Any code after throw statement, then you may get what? Compile time error saying unreachable code, guys. So just keep in mind, guys. Guys, the next question, explain importance of throws keyword, guys. Sometimes interview may ask what is the difference between throw and throws. What? Throw and throws. So already I mentioned about throw. Then, guys, next question is what? Explain importance of throws keyword in Java, guys. So guys, see, throws keyword means what? To delegate responsibility of exception handling to the caller. What, guys? To delegate responsibility of exception handling to the caller method. That is JVM, guys. For that purpose, we use throws keyword. What, guys? Throws keyword. You may seen, guys, in the program, right? Once you're going to write public static void main, right? After that you need to write throws what? Interrupt exception, right? So with the help of throws keyword, we are going to notify what? To the caller method. We are going to delegate our responsibility of exception handling to the caller method. At last our caller is a JVM only, guy. So that, guy, with the help of throws keyword only we can notify this thing. You can see, right? So public static void main throws input, yeah, interrupt exception, right? Good, guy. Guy, the next question, explain the importance of finally our return statement. So guys, finally block is more important than return statement. When both are present in a program, guys, for example, if there is any return statement present inside try catch block and finally block is also present, so first finally statement will execute, guys, and then return statement will be considered. That means keep in mind that is the order of the execution, guys. The next question, explain a situation. Explain a situation where finally block will not be executed, guys. So let's see, finally block will not be executed whenever JVM shut down. JVM is shut down. If you use system.exit in try statement, finally block if present will not be executed, guys. This thing we should keep in mind, guys. There are so many different types of questions are there. You need to understand in which case we are going to use. So the next question, can we use catch statement for checked exception? What question, guys? Can we use catch statement for checked exception? So first we should know what is checked exception. Already I mentioned guys, the exception which is checked by compiler at runtime for normal termination. Right? So guys, it mentioned if there is no chance of raising an exception in our code, then we can't declare catch block for handling checked exception. This raises compile time error guys if we try to handle checked exception when there is no possibility of causing exception. Clear guys? Guys, the next question: what are user defined exception? What are user defined exception guys? So guys, to create customized error, right? Custom means guys, user defined means what? By programmer, right? So to create customized error message, we use user defined exception. We can create user defined exception as checked or unchecked exception as well. We can create user defined exception that extend exception class or subclass of checked exception, so that user defined exception becomes checked. And get user defined exception can extend runtime exception to create user defined exception unchecked exception get. Good guys? So this thing we should keep in mind. Get the next question: can we read through the same exception from catch handler? What guys? Can we read through the same exception from catch handler? Yes, we can read through the same exception from our catch handler. If you want to read through checked exception from a catch block, we need to declare that exception. Next question guys: can we nested try statement in Java? Yes, try statement can be nested. We can declare try statement inside the block, another try statement. Then it is possible. Otherwise, it can't be. The next question: explain the importance of throwable class and its method. Guys, throwable, that is a super class, right? So throwable class is a root class. Already mentioned this super class. So throwable class is the root class of exception hierarchy. So all exceptions are derived from this throwable class only. The two main subclass of throwable are exception and error guide. So this throwable are divided into two parts. So first part is the exception and second part is the error guide. The three methods defined in throwable class guide: void, print, stack, trace. This prints the exception information in the following format guide: name the exception, description followed by the stack trace, get message. Good. This method prints only the description of exception. Whatever exception we may get, that the description we can print. Guys, and third, to a string, it prints the name and description of exception. This thing comes under our what? Throwable class and corresponding error methods. Good. The next question: explain when class not found exception will be raised in your code, in your application, when you may get class not found exception, right? So guys, when JVM tries to load the class, by its string name and it could not able to find the class, that time you may get what? Class not found exception will be thrown. An example for the exception is when class name is misspelled guys, and when we try to load the class by string name, hence the class not found, which creates class not found exception. Because in this get message there, in our throwable class, one method there, get message, right? So that it will print what? Class not found exception. Good guys, that is the question. Guys, next question and last question in exception handling: when no class definition found, error will be raised. Guys, this error is thrown when JVM tries to load the class but no definition for the respective class is found. That means you may get no class definition found error will occur guys. The class may exist at compile time but unable to find at runtime. This might be due to misspelled class name at command line, or class path is not specified properly yet, or the class file with bytecode is not longer available. Due to this, you may get no class definition found error while executing the exception code guide. So guys, that all question belongs to our exception handling. Okay. So which is the most asked question in the interview room? That question I have created and I have explained in front of you guys. Okay, then next topic is what? Multi-threading. So what all the important questions generally asked in terms of multi-threading. So guys, first question may arise: what is process? What is process in multi-threading. So guys, a process is a program. What? A process is a program in execution. Every process have their own memory, guys. When you're going to what? Any process we have, that means every process have their own memory space. Processes are heavyweight, guys, and requires their own address, a space. One or more thread make a process, guys. So what is thread, guy, in Java? So guys, thread is separate path of execution in program. So threads are, guys, lightweight. They share the same address space. Creating a thread is simple, guys. In our multi-threading, creating a thread is simple when compared to process, because creating a thread requires less resources when compared to process. Thread exists in a process. Thread exists in a process if process have at least one thread. If you're going to think about thread, definitely we should have process. If process have at least one thread. Thread, guys. So already mentioned, guys, what is difference between process and thread. So program is execution, guys. Program in execution is a process. A separate path of execution in a program, one or more thread is called as a process. Processes are, guys, heavyweight, threads are lightweight. Processes require separate address space, but threads share same address space. Inter-process communication is expensive, guys, inside the process, but inter-thread communication is less expensive compared to the processes, guys. Context switching from one program to another program is costly under the process, but context switching between thread is low cost, guys, under the thread. Guys, these are the difference mainly. So what is the multitasking? You may understand that what is multitasking. As the name refers, guys, what? Performing more than one activity at a time. Performing more than one activity at a time on the computer. Example, guys, using a spreadsheet, using calculator, listening song at the same time. That means you may say it is a multitasking operation. Guys, the next question: what are different types of multitasking, guys? What are different types of multitasking? So guys, mainly there are two different types of multitasking, guys. So process-based multitasking and thread-based multitasking in Java, guys. So guys, then you may second question: what is process-based multitasking, guys? So guys, multitasking. So process-based multitasking allowed to run two or more programs concurrently, means parallelly, guys. It allows to run two or more programs parallelly. In process-based multitasking, a process is the smallest part of code. What, guys? Multitasking process is a smallest part of code. Example, guys, running MS Word and MS PowerPoint at the same time. But guys, thread-based multitasking, it allows to run parts of a program to run parallelly, guys. Example, formatting the text and printing Word document at the same time. That is parallelly, guys. So guys, Java supports thread-based multitasking and provides built-in support for multi-threading, guys. That thing you should keep in mind. Guys, the next question: what are the benefits of multi-thread programming? If you are going to use multi-thread programming in your Java, so what it is the advantage? So the multi-threading enables to use the ideal time of CPU, because we are going to work, we are going to assign tasks parallelly. Correct, guys? So multi-threading enables to use ideal time of a CPU to another thread, which results in a faster execution of program. In single thread environment, each task has to be completed before proceeding to next task, making CPU ideal. Correct, guys? That is the main thing we should keep remember, guys. Then next question: explain thread in Java. What is thread in Java, guys? So guys, thread is independent path of execution within a program. Mention, guys, it is independent. Thread is independent path of execution, guys. Whatever we are going to execute anything in a program, in our application, that means it should be independent. A thread consists of three parts, guys: virtual CPU, code, and data. At runtime, guys, threads share code and data. They use same address space, guys. Every thread in Java is an object of java.lang package, just like thread class. Guys, the next question lists Java API that support thread guide. List that support what? List Java API that supports threads guide. So guys, java.lang thread, java.lang runnable, java.lang object, java.util concurrent. Guys, you can see first java.lang thread means guys, this is one of the way to create thread by extending thread class and overriding run method. We can create thread in Java guys. Guys, the next java.lang.runnable. So guys, we know very well, right? Runnable is an interface, right? That is a functional interface guys. By implementing runnable interface and overriding run method, we can create a thread as well in Java. Then guys, java.lang object. So object class is a super class of all the classes in Java, right? In object class we have three methods guys: wait, notify all that supports thread as well. Then java.util.content, right? This package has classes and interface that supports concurrent programming, right? Just like executor interface, future tasks, what, etc. Right? Then the next question: explain about main thread in Java. Okay, this is also an important question. What is main thread in Java? Okay? So the main thread in the first thread that starts immediately after a program is started. What we know very well, right? So main thread is important because all the child threads what swap from the main thread only, right? Once main thread started, only we can execute respective other thread guide. So main method is the last thread to finish execution. When JVM calls main thread, it starts a new thread. Main method is temporarily stopped while the new thread starts running. This should keep in mind. The next question: in how many ways we can create thread in Java? So I hope you all of you know this thing, right? So we can create thread in Java by mainly two ways. First is by extending our class from the thread class, and second thing by implementing runnable interface from our. So we can extend our class, we can implement our class from runnable interface. This is the two ways by which we can create a thread in Java, right? The next question: explain creating a threads by implementing runnable classes, right? So this is the first and foremost way to create thread, right? By implementing runnable interface and implementing method signature public void run guide. What we know very well, right? This is run is our what method which are present inside the runnable interface. That is app. That is what we are going to use, right? That is functional interface. Only one method is available inside this runnable interface. So guys, we can see I mentioned here how we're going to use that runnable interface. So we need to create our class. So my class implement with runnable interface, and what is the method inside runnable interface we are going to override and we can use, right? Okay, the next question: explain creating a thread by extending thread class. Same way guys, our class should be extend our thread class and we can override the run method what we have in the what thread class, right? Guy, then next question: which is the best approach for creating thread? This is the one important question may asked by the interviewer, because we have two approaches to create a thread. So which is the best approach to create the thread, guy? So the best way for creating a thread is to implement runnable interface. Why, guys? Because when we execute a thread class, we can't extend any other class, right? When we create thread by implementing runnable interface, we can implement runnable interface in both the ways we have implement run method only, right guys? So the next question: explain the importance of thread scheduler in Java, guys. So what is the importance of thread scheduler in Java? So guys, thread scheduler is a part of JVM. What we know very well, right? So thread scheduler is a part of JVM used to determine which thread to run at this moment, right? When there are multiple threads, we have only thread in runnable state are chosen by scheduler, guy. Only threads in runnable state are chosen by scheduler. Thread scheduler guy first allocate the processor time to the higher priority threads. To allocate microprocessor time in between the threads of same priority, guy, thread scheduler follow round robin fashion. With the help of round robin fashion, they are going to allocate the schedule their time respectively, guys. Guys, then next question: Explain the life cycle of thread. This is also one very important question in the interview room. What do you mean by life cycle of thread, guy? So guys, a thread can be in any of the 5 state, guy. A thread, it may have any state, guy. So guys, new. First the thread is comes another new state. So when the instance of thread is created, right, it will under the new state. Just get thread t equal to new thread. Once we have created a thread object, that it is the new state. In the above example, guys, t is a new state. The thread is created but not in active state. To make it active, we need to call the start method on it. Right? T dot start. Only it becomes active state. Then, guys, next state is the runnable state. A thread can be what in the runnable state in either or of the following two ways, guys. When the start method invoked, means t dot start done. Right? A thread can also be in runnable state after coming back from block or sleeping or waiting state. This comes under the runnable state. And guys, third state is the running state. If thread scheduler allocates CPU time respective thread, then thread will be in running state. Guys, next stage is waiting, blocking, sleeping state. In this state, guys, the thread can be made temporarily inactive for a short period of time. A thread can be in the available state in any of the following ways. Due to any of the following ways, it can be what? Waited, blocking, and sleeping state. With the first year, the thread waits to acquire lock of an object. And get second way, the second is the thread wait for another thread to complete. Once other thread will complete the task, then it will come in active get. And get third point, the thread wait for notification of other thread. Guys, these are all the three ways by which our thread may be wait, blocking, and sleeping state. Right, guys? And guys, last, that is dead state. A thread is in dead state when thread run method execution is complete. When the execution is completed, then the thread will come under the dead state. It dies automatically when thread run method execution is completed, and thread object will be garbage collected. When it is created by the garbage collection, then it will come under the dead state. Guys, these are the life cycle of the thread. You may tell to the interviewer briefly, then they will come to know, yes, you are the perfect in the multi-threading concept of life cycle of thread. Okay, next question, can we restart a dead thread in Java? If we try to restart a dead thread by using a start method, we will get runtime exception since the thread is not alive. Once the thread is not alive, we can't restart a dead thread. Guys, can we thread block the other thread? No one thread cannot block the other thread in Java. It can block the current thread that is running only. Otherwise, we can't block the other thread. Okay, the next question, can we restart a thread already started in Java? A thread can be started in Java using a start method. After creating the object, suppose thread t equal to new thread t dot start, we can do. If we call start method second time, once it is started, it will cause runtime exception, that is illegal thread state exception you may get. So a runnable thread cannot be restarted, guys. Keep in mind this type of question, silly question they may ask. Okay, so you need to confident if you will what concentrate, or you may read this document properly, guys. So in this question, what happen if you don't override run method, guys? This is also an important question. If you don't override the run method, what will happen? So guys, if you don't override run method, then default implementation of thread class run method will be executed, and hence the thread will never be runnable state. Excuse me, guys. So guys, this thing we should know. So guys, next question, can we overload run method in Java? We can overload run method, but thread class start method will always call run method, guys, with no arguments. But the overloaded method will not be called by start method, guys. We have to explicitly call this start method. Only it can be overloaded, guys. Okay, next question, what is lock, or what is the purpose of lock in Java? What is lock and what is the purpose of lock in Java, guys? So guys, what we know, lock also called monitor is used to prevent access to the shared resources by multiple thread, guys. So a lock is associated to shared resources. Whenever a thread wants to access a shared resources, it must first acquire a lock. If already a lock has been acquired by other, it can't access that shared resources at this what moment, guys. So the thread has to wait until another thread releases the lock on shared resources. Right, guys? So a lock protection section of a code allowing only the one thread to execute at a time, guys. This thing we should keep in mind, guys. The next question, in how many ways we can synchronization in Java? In how many ways we can do synchronization in Java, guys? So guys, there are two approaches generally. So synchronize method and synchronize block. With the help of these two ways, we can synchronize thread in Java, guys. Right? So to do synchronization, we use synchronize keyword, guys. So what are synchronize method, guys? If you want to method of object to be accessed by single thread at a time, we can declare that method with synchronize method, synchronize keyword, guys. So might be you know once if you are doing the singleton, guys, that time you may use that concept synchronize keyword, synchronize method. It's in block, means at a single thread what single it access the object will access only single thread with the help of the synchronized keyword. Right? That thing you can do, guys. Get the next question, when do we use synchronized method in Java? So guys, if multiple threads try to access a method, guys, if a multiple thread tries to access a method where method can manipulate a state of object, in such a scenario we can declare a method as a synchronized. This is the correct approach. Guys, the next question, when a thread is executing synchronized method, then is it possible to execute other synchronized method simultaneously by other threads? No, it is not possible, guys, to execute synchronized method by other thread when a thread is inside a synchronized method. It can't be a possible, guys. Okay, next question, when a thread is executing synchronized method, then is it possible for the same thread to access other synchronized method of object? Yes, it is possible, guys. For a thread executing a synchronized method to execute another synchronized method of an object, we can use the synchronized keyword. Then, guys, what are synchronized block in Java? I have explained synchronized method. Now the question is what is synchronized block? So guys, synchronizing a new lines of code rather than complete method, right? Synchronizing a few lines of the code rather than the complete method with the help of synchronized keyword are called synchronized block. So what we are going to do synchronized method, so we can use synchronized block as well, guys. Right? So guys, when do we use synchronized block and advantage of using synchronized block? So guys, it's very important question. So guys, if very few lines of the code requires synchronization, right? Suppose if your bits of code requires the synchronization, then it is recommended to use synchronized block. Inside the block, you may write such type of code what it needs. The main advantage of synchronized block, guys, of a synchronized method, it is reduce the waiting time of thread and improve performance of the system. That is the main advantage while using synchronized block over the synchronized method. So then, what is class level lock? Guys, what is class level lock? So guys, acquiring lock on the class. Acquiring lock on the class instances rather than the object of the class is called class level lock, guys. The difference between class level lock and object level lock is in the class level lock is required on the class. Class instances and object level lock is required object of the class. That is main thing, guys. Get the next question, can we synchronize a static method in Java? Yes, guys, every class in Java has a unique lock associated with it. So if a thread wants to execute a static synchronized method, it need to acquire first class level lock when a thread was executing a static synchronized method. No other thread can execute a static synchronous method guy of a class since lock is acquired in a class. So guys, one thing we should know. So but it can execute the following method guy: normal static method, no instance method, and synchronized instance method. That thing also we should keep remember guy. Guys, next question: can we use synchronized block for primitive? Synchronized blocks are applicable only for objects guys. Keep in mind, synchronized blocks are applicable only for objects, not for the primitive. So if we try to use synchronized block for primitive, we can get compile time error. The next question: what are thread priorities and importance of thread priority in Java guys? So guys, when there are several threads in waiting guys, suppose when several threads are waiting, thread priority determines which thread to run. In Java programming language, every thread has a priority, okay, by the thread scheduler guy. So a thread inherits priority of its parent thread. By default, threads has normal priority of 5. Suppose thread scheduler uses guy thread priority to decide when each thread is allowed to run. Thread scheduler runs high priority thread first guy. So as per the thread scheduler decision, we can prioritize the thread order guy. Get the next question: explain different types of thread priority. What is thread priority in our Java guy? So guys, every thread in Java priority in between 1 to 10. So by default priority is 5 guy. So thread.norm underscore priority, the maximum priority would be 10 and minimum would be 1 guy. So thread class defines the following constant static final variables to define what their property. When it is low priority, when it is max priority, when it is min priority guy. Okay guys, the next question: how to change the priority of thread or how to set priority of a thread. So guys, we have some method guys set priority, right? So you can see a final void set priority int value. We need to give the value of the priority of respective thread by which we can set the priority and we can get the priority with respective method call guys. The next question: if your two threads have same priority, which thread will be executed first? So guys, if you are not guaranteed which thread will be executed first when threads are with equal priority in the pool, it depends all about the thread scheduler. It depends on the thread scheduler guy to which thread you execute. The scheduler can do any of the following things. It can pick any thread from the pool and run it till completes, and other guy it can give equal opportunity for all the threads by timing slicing. It all about guy depends upon the thread scheduler. So that is the owner of the thread scheduler which thread will execute first. The next question: what all methods are used to prevent thread execution guy? So guys, what all methods are used to prevent thread execution? So guys, there are 3 methods in thread class which prevents execution of thread. First is guy yield, join and sleep. These 3 methods you more responsible to prevent the thread execution guy. The next question: explain yield method in thread class guy. What is the work of yield method guy? So yield method makes the current running thread to move into runnable state guy. So this method will do what? To move current running thread to move into runnable state, from running state giving chance to remaining thread to equal priority guy which are in waiting state. Yield method makes current thread to sleep or a specified amount of the time. There is no guarantee that moving a current thread from runnable to running state. It all depends on thread scheduler. It doesn't guarantee anything guy. So that is defined by our yield method. You can see with this signature guy. Get the next question: is it possible for a yielded thread to get chance for the execution again? Yield causes guy current thread to sleep or a specified amount of time, giving opportunity for other thread of the equal priority to execute. So thread scheduler decide whether it gets chance for execution again or not. It all depends on the mercy of thread scheduler. So guys, in single we can say, so thread scheduler is the most important role in the our what multi-threading. Most other things decided by thread scheduler. Okay. Guys, next question: explain the importance of join method in thread class guy. So as a name guy, a thread can invoke the join method on other thread to wait for other thread to complete its execution. Assume guys, if we have two threads T1 and T2, right? So a running thread T1 invokes a join method thread T2, then T1 thread will wait into waiting state until T2 completes their task. Once T2 complete the execution, T1 will be continue. So guys, it depends upon the execution of the task of the respective thread. Guys, next question, explain purpose of sleep method. So yield, join and sleep. Right guys? Then sleep method cause current running thread to sleep for a specified amount of time. Right? Sleep method is the minimum amount of the time the current thread sleep, but not the exact amount of time, guys. So already I mentioned the signature, right? How we're going to use the that what sleep method, guys. Then guys, next question, assume a thread has a lock. Assume a thread has a lock on it. Calling sleep method on that thread will release the lock. Guys, calling sleep method on thread which has lock doesn't affect guys. Lock will not be released through the thread sleeps for a specified amount of time. Guys, next question, can sleep method cause another thread to sleep? No guys. No sleep method causes current thread to sleep, not any other thread as well. Then guys, explain about interrupt method of thread class. What interrupt method it does? So guys, thread class interrupt method is used to interrupt current thread. It will be used to interrupt current thread or another thread. It doesn't mean the current thread to stop immediately. It is polite way to telling to the requesting to continue your present work. That is the reason guys we may not see the impact of interrupt call immediately. Right guys? So if a thread is sleeping or waiting a status, right? What? It may be what? Wait, sleep, thread gets the interpret. It stop what it doing and throws an interpret exception guys. Get the next question, what? Explain about inter-thread communication and how it taking place in Java guys. So how the thread communication will happen in our multi-threading guys. So guys, we know, right? So usually threads are created to perform different unrelated tasks, but there may be situation where they may perform related tasks. Just like guys, we have wait, notify all these three methods we have in the object class guys. So guys, explain wait, notify all methods of object class, right? So what it does guys, all these three methods guys. So wait method guy makes the current thread sleep and release the lock until some other thread acquires the lock and calls notify. And notify method guy wake up the thread that called wait on the same object. And notify all method wake up all the threads that are called wait on the same object. The highest priority threads will run first guy. So all the above three methods guy, wait, notify all are in the object class, are called only in synchronized context. What guy? Call only synchronized context. So all the three methods must handle interrupted exception by using throws clause or by using try catch clause guy. Get the next question, explain why wait, notify all methods are in object class rather than in thread class. That is very important question guy. That is one of the most important question asked in the interview room. If wait, why wait, notify all methods are object class, not in the thread class. So guys, see, first to know why they are in the object class. Guys, we should know, right, what wait, notify all methods do. So guys, wait, notify all methods are object level methods guys. They are called on same object, right? Wait, notify are called on shared object, so they are kept in object class rather than the thread class. This thing you should keep in mind and you need to tell to the interviewer. Then again, next question, explain illegal monitor state exception and when it will thrown guys. So what is illegal monitor state exception and when it will be thrown? So guys, illegal monitor state exception is thrown when wait, notify and notify all are called in non-synchronized context. If they are called, so if not wait, notify all are called in non-synchronized context. Wait, notify all must always call in synchronized context. Otherwise, we will get this runtime exception. Keep in mind, guys. If it is called in non-synchronous context, it will get the illegal monetary state exception. If it is called in the synchronous context, we not get such type exception, guys. Then, guys, next question: when wait, notify all methods are called, that it deletes the log or holds the acquired log. So, guys, wait, notify all methods are always called in synchronous context. When these methods are called in synchronous context, and so when they enter first in synchronous context, thread acquires the log or content or current object. When wait, notify methods are called, log is released on respective object. Get the next question. Explain which of the following method release the log when yield, join, sleep, wait, notify all methods are executed. So guys, see, first row is a method and second is the release log, yes or no. So yield method, no release log. Sleep method, no. Join method, no release log. But wait method, release the log. And notify, release the log. Notify all, also release log, because it is used under the synchronous context. Guys, the next question: what are thread groups? So guys, thread groups are group of thread and other thread groups. It is a way of grouping a thread so that action can perform on set of thread to easy maintenance and security purpose, guys. For example, we can start and stop all thread groups, guys. We rarely use thread group class. By default, all the threads that are created belong to the default thread group of a main thread. Every thread belongs to a thread group, guys. So keep in mind. So what are the thread local variable, guys? What are the thread local variable? So guys, thread local variables are variables associated to a particular thread rather than a object. We declare the thread local object as a private static variable in class. Every time a new thread access object by using getter and setter, we are accessing copy of object. The next question: what are daemon thread in Java? This is also one important question, guys. What is daemon thread in Java, guys? So guys, daemon thread are a thread which run in background, So these are service thread, you can say. In other words, also we can say these are the service thread and works for the benefit of other thread. Garbage collector is one of the good example of daemon thread, guys. By default, all threads are non-daemon. So daemon nature of a thread can be inherited, guys. If parent thread is daemon, child thread also inherit daemon nature of a thread. Guys, the next question: how to make a non-daemon thread as a daemon? Suppose some thread is non-daemon. So how to make a daemon? So guys, by default, all threads are non-daemon. We can make non-daemon nature of a thread to daemon by using setDaemon. We have one method, guys, that is setDaemon. So setDaemon method, if you're going to invoke, that means we can make non-daemon to daemon thread, guys. So guys, the important point to note that here we can call setDaemon only before a start method is called on it. If we call setDaemon after a start method, so we may get illegal thread state exception will thrown, guys. So before a start method, we can set our thread as a daemon with invoking setDaemon method. Guys, the next question: can we make main method as a daemon? Main thread is always non-daemon, guys. So keep in mind, so main method thread is always non-daemon. So we can't change the non-daemon nature of a main thread to a daemon. So guys, these all are question belongs to what? Multi-threading. I hope I covered most of the question which is generally asked in the interview room by the interviewer. So if you concentrate all the question, guys, if you watch the video from last to end, so in last means starting to end, definitely you can get more knowledge on the multi-threading and what action handling question and answer. which will more helpful for you whenever if you're going to attend any interview. So guys, that's it in this video. That's the part 2. So I will cover more question in next video, guys. So guys, if you like the video, please like, share, subscribe, and please click the notification button. Whenever if I uploaded any video, you will get notified directly, guys. So you can watch my video but frequently, guys. Thank you guys. Bye bye. We'll meet very soon in next video.